And we're back. Continue.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
But how can a princess locked away in a basement in the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Do you have any evidence to back that up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
How'd I get here in the first place? I don't remember coming here. Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
Why is it ticking?
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up.
Look, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to her, and if she's as bad as you say she is, then maybe I'll slay her. But I'm not committing to anything till I've had the chance to meet her face to face.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Short path? Was it always a short path?
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
There's no mirror.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Enter the basement.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
I like your voice.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Okay. I like the way she's talking.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
We've done this already. What? No way. Why would you even think that?
That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
I'm just holding on to it.
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should drop it.
We'll see what the first option is.
Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Okay, drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Talk.
Against your better judgment,
Eyes are
you step
huge.
forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
Don't strangle me.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
I have my reasons. Do you think I just come here to kill someone without even knowing why? That'd be ridiculous.
And yet, you hesitated the moment you saw me. And you dropped your knife. If killing me was really that important, you'd have a little more gumption, don't you think?
I love her sass this time round.
So, someone put you up to this, right? And whoever it is, it's probably the same someone who shoved me into this dark pit and chained me to a wall.
That's a fair question. Who chained her in this basement, and if she's so dangerous, how did they manage to trap her? And why have we been left to do their dirty work? Don't give away the game, and don't let her distract you. That's exactly what she wants.
I'm right, aren't I? So who put you up to this?
A voice in my head. You get those too, right? How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
Not asking you, narrator.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Cut your hand off? Would you like me to cut your hand off? I'll cut your hand off.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade.
We just skip to that part? We just do that?
She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Okay, I suppose I'll just go with the first option. I'm here because you're supposed to end the world.
Don't just tell her that.
She's not amused.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
That stare, though. How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Of course.
You know why you're here.
Slay the princess.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle. She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down.
Angry princess.
As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
I have to bring your fragment back to the rest of you. I'm not sure I can do that with this one.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs. This is the end, isn't it?
It's okay, hero.
I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
I like the way he said it that time. It feels different. The tower.
You're on a path in the woods.
I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu.
A terrible sense of deja vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
Oh, okay.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
It was her voice this time.
What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
This is more than just deja vu, though. I'm pretty sure this whole thing literally just happened.
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth, and all of this really did already happen. Why would I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
Yeah.
You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die. What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless.
Oh,
She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
the hero has a backbone this time.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
It's not a different world. I mean, I guess it kind of is a different world. It's a different timeline, which is coinciding with this one. It's just time. We're in a place without time. We're experiencing it all.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
I came here. My consciousness came to my other me.
Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
Probably.
If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains, and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end.
Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
Oh,
A warning before you go any further. She will lie. The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. Why do we feel so small?
probably the giant door.
We don't feel small. We are small.
Like the mirror.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin
feathers.
wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
I don't know what that does, but I keep trying. Take the blade.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
She a giant?
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Okay, ma'am.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there.
She's giving him directions. He likes that.
It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants.
If you be mommy bird, I'll be baby bird.
You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity.
Thank you.
Drop it.
Do I have to bark first? Drop it.
The blade slips from your fingers and clatters uselessly to the floor.
Woof.
We didn't have to do that.
We're a good dog, Hero.
And yet you did. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence.
Kneel.
We're giving in. We're being a good dog. Woof.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs.
Hey, narrator, she's admitting it. It's happened before.
I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alterations.
What do you have in mind? Can I be part of it? Do I get a doggy bed?
It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson.
I'm on the ground, narrator. What do you think it taught me?
You are the only one who can deal with her. And if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she?
Woof.
Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it? He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we supposed to do to stop her? Okay, first things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done. The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. And if you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
What would you have me do? What do you have planned?
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
You can't do it yourself? If you're so powerful, can't you just break the chains yourself?
Don't be rude. Of course she can.
Then do it.
It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world. That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
Ooh, I like how his voice tapered off.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful God unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity.
You want me to start singing? I'm not a good singer.
The song of you, being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn.
As long as I can sleep at the foot of your bed, okay?
Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
Submit and subscribe.
There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Woof. We just pledge. I mean, we've been barking this whole time. I'm yours to command.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent?
Yes?
All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say.
The narrator's just done with us.
No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
You won't let me, or you don't want me to?
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong, trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you?
Seems like.
That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
It's incapable of it if it's observation.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
The narrator's getting nervous. That was a sound in my ear.
Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Oh, I like that.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade. All you need to do is believe it's been done.
Okay. And what if I don't believe? What happens then?
You poor, wretched little thing. You already do believe. You've always believed. All you have to do is open the last door to your heart.
Keep calling me wretched.
It's easy. And once you let her in, you'll be safe and free forever.
Please, don't do this.
I mean, the narrator told me to, Hero. I have to. It's over. I'm sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry about. This is how it was always going to be. And it is good.
At least Broken's happy.
Alright, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna go sit in the corner. Let me know if we get our agency back.
You can sit?
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
It sounded like she said, I am free. I like that.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
Best disciple. Thank you. What happens now?
Nothing. And then, everything.
Aw. Obedient servant. But you do not take her hand, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
No, we're gonna talk with the skin hero. It's okay.
And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Of course you're scared. This is the end for you, but it's not the end for me.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now.
I'm sorry, hero. We're gonna scare you.
This is what we all deserve, isn't it?
I'm sorry. You approach the mirror. Have I grown? Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave. But you need to see what's in it. You've withered. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You're at the cabin. She's huge.
I am
that's
a
so
growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All all of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Oh, contradictions exist. We're not doing that one. I like her too much. I'm not going to do silly answers or silly questions. Do you know what happens to the worlds that we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me.
Fair. Fair enough.
Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
We'll figure it out together. We'll just keep working on it. What do you think of this vessel?
This one is Dominance, a figure capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for a terrifying and divine heart. Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you.
Everything today feels like a riddle. It does not. Can't be a contradiction. That's untrue. Of course, she still doesn't care. Really? We don't have any more questions? That's it. I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die. Okay, let's do another one. I'm just gonna pick it at random this time. Sweet, I've always wanted to off a monarch.
That's the spirit.
Just be all gung-ho about it.
You make your way up the short path.
Now let's just go to the basement. We'll change our mind later.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by her voice soft.
Hello? Is someone there?
Oh, she's scared?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Oh.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Just checking in on you.
You are? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
Oh, I wouldn't forget about you.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
I mean, ask the broken.
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
I can think about it. I'll see what I can do.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
I just want to talk to her first.
No, you're doing the right thing.
Thank you, hero.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
No, we're gonna have to cut your arm off.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Narrator. And if there isn't a key, do you have any other ideas?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance.
If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
By who? Narrator? Who's the other person? There's another person here?
Is someone else here?
Yeah. Try the door. We're not gonna scream. Maybe they didn't know we're here. Actually, no.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence.
There.
I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Narrator, did you shut the door on me? Are you able to? Let's try the door anyway.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
We can't try to break it down. Hey, back down.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to.
I'll Stay down here with you, keep you company.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Yeah.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
You want help? I'll get the other side.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal.
Why?
It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
Narrator, that is not nice of you.
Or we could use it to free her.
Yeah.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Watch me. Save the princess. We'll go with you this time, hero.
Fine. Against your better judgment,
I got you.
You place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place.
Trust me?
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm.
I like the look. I just like how nonchalant it is. It's like,
Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't.
Oh, narrator's mad.
She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
She's free now. Why would she care?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Also, the adrenaline's probably pumping like crazy. Approach the locked door. Don't hurt me, okay? I'm helping you.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world.
Narrator's gonna kill me.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
You have this control? I thought you were just observation. What do you mean by you can control me? Sir?
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Yeah.
Watch me.
What? Oh, I liked that. I like that a lot.
What are you doing?
The voice in my head told me to. Warn her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
I'm not trying to.
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart.
Narrator!
But the princess dodges,
Thank
stumbling
you.
back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
No, you're not, narrator. You've gotten me killed many times. Resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
No.
As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance,
Tell me.
the princess takes a cautious step forward.
Do it.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
She's going to make the voices stop, narrator.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
Thank you.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh, you're going to make me suffer, narrator.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone.
Oh, we're doing it for the hero. Stop.
Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
Maybe if you pay attention and open your eyes and see where you're hitting.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
Apparently
I'll do
not.
it myself.
Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
Just give it to me, I'll do it myself.
I'm so sorry.
I traumatized a princess.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Oh, I like this one.
On a path in the wood, you're here to slay.
Oh, you bastard. You're in for it now. I'm wise to your tricks.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Who's the voice?
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Oh no! The smitten.
Our beloved?
Yeah.
Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
4 of us? Princess, smitten, hero, me?
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Head to the cabin. Let's save our girl.
A warning. Before she will lie. We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
Even the hero is tired of him.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet.
Oh, hero, I'm sorry.
Don't pay their bickering any mind.
Proceed.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Mirror again. Let's ask about it.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else. There's definite. There isn't. I'm sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here.
The princess would tell us that we're pretty.
In which case she'd be lying to you because, again, there isn't a mirror.
I want to look at myself. I want to see how handsome I am.
That's a great idea. We have to make sure we're looking our best before we save her.
Yeah.
We shouldn't waste time preening. If he is lying about the mirror, it might be important.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous, but it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Just what are we, a crow? Enter.
A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Yes, my dear.
Her voice, it's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning.
You don't even know her name yet.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
She cut her arm off for me. Well, for herself. She killed me for me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
Like how the chain's all dainty now.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
How's your arm?
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero.
Yeah, she did. I knew that would get your attention.
Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
It does.
Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
I didn't say anything back in the woods.
That's right, villain, and you killed us.
Oh, right. I said I was gonna fall for it again.
Well, she killed us.
Or us.
Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time.
It hasn't been sent to oblivion, it's been merged to the main one. We're trying to get all the pieces back together.
We damned a whole world,
No, we didn't.
but everything reset.
No, it didn't.
Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever, especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible. Now, hold on, if she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
Yes.
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
Sorry about what happened last time. The narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was extremely unfair.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
Oh, sweetie.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. You think she has someone like him telling her what to do?
Ooh, fair question. I didn't bring a knife. Do I have to cut you out again?
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains.
I can if I want to.
Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
No. What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
There's not much going on behind those eyes. But before we started talking, did the world end? Did you end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips.
I like that the first one we got in this video was like the Dommy princess, and now we have the sub princess.
Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Oh no. Did we trigger something in her by doing this? Let's take off the narrator. Honestly, the world sucks. People are a plague, and I hope you brought a slow and painful ruin to them all.
Lucky for you, I did destroy the world. I destroyed all of it and made it awful for everyone.
Aw, she's such a good girl.
But have you seen her angelic face? She should get a pass. She just wanted to make us happy.
By destroying the world?
Yeah,
Apparently, yes.
because we just asked her to, so therefore she did. Rescue the princess.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her?
Probably.
I would if you had a weapon.
What are you gonna do, make us go upstairs?
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
I'll take us all down.
You wouldn't.
Oh, I would.
I would. You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed.
I can't believe it. But I guess I have to.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved.
But she's happy.
Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon.
Yeah,
Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
she's gonna kill us, isn't she?
What do we do now?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Let me guess. End the world?
Oh, stop it. Only if we ask her to.
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I like how his is capitalized.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
What do you think you want?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
Oh, she's gonna snap.
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection,
I'm scared now.
and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Do you want it in the world? It doesn't sound like a question. It's essentially asking a dog they want to go on a ride. Instead of, you want to go for a ride? You want to end the world?
Are you seriously asking her that?
Yes. It might be a treat.
Oh, we've been over this one. I do want to end the world.
I want you to tell me what you want.
I just want to make you happy.
Oh, she took a change. Oh, the music. Music's gone astray. But what would make you happy?
I just want to make you happy.
Uh-oh. We're sending her into a crisis. You have to want something more than just making me happy.
Okay, I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
I'm breaking her. She's just getting worse. I'm sorry. She doesn't know what she is. But you need your own thing. You just met me. You can't base your entire happiness around me.
Okay, if that's what makes you happy.
No, she's a scribble. She's a concept.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here?
Oh no. I broke her. I'm sorry. I should have just escaped with her, but I whittled her down to nothing. You don't get the chance to ask another question, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
No. She was our perfect match.
We'll meet her again, I promise. I'm sorry. Approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach for it. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave. But you need to see what's in it. You've unraveled. I unraveled her. Didn't mean to, but I did. There's a shell of a princess up there. Approach.
There's
Sorry.
a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there?
No, that's why it's a mystery. Ooh, finally some good questions. When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator, and he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels had one?
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
Beyond is a word for it. He does, and when I find him, you and I are finally going to have answers.
Do not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves.
Yes, but part of finding what's within ourselves is understanding what brought us there in the first place, and in this case, it was the narrator. Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken?
If I did, I would already be awake.
Fair. Do you think that anything's real out there? Do you think that we're real? I mean, if it's perception, if you perceive yourself as real, then you're real.
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Nothing can exist because the concept of nothing means that there's something. There's trees and stars, and they're people, I think. At least they're supposed to be people.
There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
They're called mortals, as opposed to you. Do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart.
Don't say I molded her. That's kind of creepy.
Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
I also broke her down to her basic scribbles. I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Everything goes dark and you die. Alright, so we're going to end it here. Made some progress. And I guess the next one's going to be something big. She said the next time we meet, there's going to be answers. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that is and seeing if it confirms the theory we have so far. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. And I'll see you soon. Bye.